If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. You feel me then? I'm Quindell Evans. This is the Blue Poetry Podcast. 3 words, the word blue is the color of dream. Poet is the orator and scribe. Trees are what keeps us alive. BluePoetry.com. B's up for the blue. Alright? So, on this podcast, we speak about the habits that it takes to create a successful life and the habits that it takes to overcome and break through a stressful life. One more time on the Blue Poetry Podcast, we speak about the habits that it takes to create a successful life and the habits that it takes to overcome and break through a stressful life. We want to create success and break through stress. And if you tuned in recently, I did a podcast about a breakup, and I realized that relationships is important too when it comes to success. So, a big part of success, in business and entrepreneurship, if you are an employee at a job somewhere, at a company, a big part of having a successful experience is building successful relationships with the people in your life. You feel me? Successful relationship with your boss, with your manager, with your supervisor. Building a successful, a healthy relationship with your co-workers, with your colleagues. So it's all love and peace and cooperation on the work site. Successful relationships are a major key to successful business, or just a successful relationship with yourself. I was listening to, I forgot this guy's name, Ty Lopez, podcast the other day, and he was saying how one of the most simple and the most effective ways to heal depression and to remain emotionally stable is to surround yourself with emotionally stable people. Your network is important. So the people you have in your life is important. The relationships you have is important. You feel me? So I did a podcast on the breakup, and now it's encouraging me to talk more about relationships. How do we build successful relationships? So my first question is, what do women want in relationships? We could get to what people want, what men want, or what does a relationship need, period. But my first question is, what does woman want? What does a woman want in a relationship? And I surveyed about 100 women, and I asked them what is more valuable to them. What do they value more in a relationship? Do they value one of the two? What do they value more? Not saying which one they value and which one they don't, which one is more important, which one would survive if the relationship only had one. I mean, how would the relationship survive if the relationship only had one? That's not what I'm talking about. Just which one do you value more? It's like, what do you value more, food or water? It's not like you're going to be like, well, food, I don't need water. It's just which one do you value more? You need both, but which one do you put at the top? You feel me? That's it. Of course, we know we need both food and water. So I'm asking this question to women, and I think a lot of times we do that. We take the extreme. We answer questions in the extreme. Like I have white friends, and when you talk about racism, they answer it in an extreme way. They don't know how to see it in the middle. Not like all white people, but a lot of times, you feel me? Because it's so they get on the defense, and then they take an extreme measure. When we talk about racism, because they want to not seem as racist. They want to not seem racist. And a lot of times they pull black people who were racist to me at one point in life, and they did this A, B, and C to me. And I'm like, you don't understand the concept of racism if you're saying that. That's extreme. That's an extreme left or right. That's not in the middle. You feel me? Because if you understood that, the concept of racism, period, you would understand that, like, it's way bigger than that, you know? Like, it's bigger than a black person being racist to a white person at a certain point in your life. Like, you wouldn't even be saying that, you feel me? Like, you wouldn't. You feel me? You just wouldn't. And I don't want to get into that. But I asked people, what do they value? Well, I asked women, what do they value more in a relationship? Attention or respect? Attention or respect? All right. So I'm laughing because it's ironic, you know. It's making me think about my relationship, my last relationship, and you know, even previous relationships before that. But it also makes me think about my future relationships, and I just see the glory, I see the beauty in my future relationships. So what does a woman value more in a relationship? What do they want more? What do they value more? Attention or respect? And what do you think they value more? Personally, personally from experience, from every relationship I ever had, women value attention more. Me, personally, what I've experienced. But the polls came back, respect. That women value respect more than attention. That's what they put at the top. But I want to say that from those women, there were like, out of this 100 women, probably about 13 said attention. They value attention over respect. And I want to say that, like, those 13, they gave their answer immediately with a smirk, like a funny smile before they answered the question. It was like, attention, like attention, like they gave it in a very sure way. Compared to the woman who said respect, they thought about it just a little, like, they thought about it too long. Like, in my opinion, they thought about it too long, and I think it stems from a place of not being respected, period, in life. Not even just from your significant other. Not even from your significant other. I think these women who answer, I think if we used to ask that question with guys or anybody, you feel me, then, we would all say respect. I think because we live in a time right now where like, social media, everyone's so disrespectful on social media, and just we all, like, we're kind of looking for something that's complimenting us, especially in this technological day and age where the human relationship is changing, the way we communicate, the way we function, the way we work with each other. You feel me? The way we run business, the way we function in society is changing. So, like, everything is becoming so machine, everything is becoming so technological and advanced that, like, machines are taking place of humans and all this, the internet and stuff like that, that, like, we kind of feel like we need respect, period, in the world. Like, the world is lacking respect. Like, we're not respecting each other in the world, period. And that's why I kind of think so many people answer that question in that way. I don't think it's more of a woman want respect more than they want attention or affection. I think they literally feel like they just, like, period. Like, I think people just haven't been respected, period. Outside of relationships. They just feel disrespected. Maybe by their parents, their family members, the bullies at school. So, I don't know, people at your workplace, people bump you in the middle of the street, drivers honking at you when you're driving. And just, I think we as a society feel like there's a lack of respect between each other, period, as humans, And there's a lack of respect for the world. There's a lack of respect for the earth. There's a lack of respect for, nature. There's a lack of respect, period. And that's why I think these women answered that question that way. They were in tune with the lack of respect that exists, period. So, but I understand. I understand why we should value respect before attention or affection, because you have to respect me in order for you to show me the right attention. You feel me? But the reason I disagree is because from my experience, I'm from the hood. I know a lot of couples, you feel me? Like, personally, I know a lot of couples that are, in violent relationships, domestic violent relationships, where they're disrespecting each other every day, and they're together for years, and they staying. And I think it's because these specific women and men appreciate that attention from their partner. And I'm just asking about women right now, so I'm thinking these particular women appreciate that attention regardless of the lack of disrespect. And then regardless of the lack of respect, they appreciate that attention from this person. And I think a lot of people feel alone in this world, and they'll take attention from anybody. But personally, I feel like when I ask the question, what do you value more in a relationship, attention or respect, it's kind of a very ambiguous question, so that you kind of need some more, need some more details to answer the question in a more accurate way, because it's very broad. But, underlining the question, I'm kind of assuming, that when I ask these women this question, that they are thinking of themselves as in a relationship. I'm hoping, I didn't ask, but I'm hoping that these women are in a relationship already. So I didn't ask, are you single, or are you in a relationship? I can do that now, do this survey over, get this question over, ask another 100 women these questions over, and ask them their relationship status first, so that I can figure it out. Because I want to think about them. That's what I'm talking about this from a standpoint of being in a relationship, because you shouldn't even be in a relationship with someone and being disrespected or having to gain their respect, period. I feel like respect is something that brings people together, and that attention, that affection is what keeps us together. That's what I feel personally, but I don't know. That's just what I feel, and I think that makes sense. We respect each other enough to be with each other, and we show each other the right amount of attention and affection so that we can remain new, we can remain together, we can remain in love, or whatever we are. We could feel highly for each other, feel strongly for each other. We can continue that. So when I asked this question, I didn't get their relationship status, but my assumption is that they are in a respectful relationship, and what they need for the relationship to last is attention and affection. But when I ask these women, what do you value more in a relationship, they value respect as if they've been being disrespected in their relationships. Like a woman doesn't care how much attention or affection her man shows as long as he's respecting her. And I don't think that's true. I think women value attention highly, value affection highly. You feel me? And from my personal experience, I've been in a relationship where a woman has, you know, stepped out and done something with someone else, and her excuse was, you wasn't around. You know, like, he was around. he was there, and he was saying this stuff, and it made me feel, you know, wanted, ABC. You know, that was that specific female. Not all women are like that, but that's an example of how a woman values attention more than respect, because she went to where she was getting attention. You know, she went to where she was getting attention. My absence, you know, or my distance or whatever could have been taken as disrespect, but I think that's like, you know, stretching it. But in all actuality, I think women value attention and affection way more than respect, because they will put up with certain levels of disrespect for a certain level of attention. And I think women value attention in a relationship, we're talking about, not just like in life, like we want to walk around being disrespected. You feel me? Let's not mistake the topic of the conversation. This is about in a relationship. We're not like everyone wants to be respected. Let's get that clear. We all want to be respected. No one wants to be disrespected. No one wants to be in a relationship where we're being disrespected. But we're talking about, you know, compromising. When you're in a relationship, you compromise certain things for certain other things. You might want something. You might want to place the furniture in a certain position, and the partner wants to place the furniture in a certain position. You sacrifice where you want to place the furniture so that you don't have to argue. You know, like, it's whatever. Like, I don't want this sofa here, but I don't want to argue with you more. So I value my peace more than I value my you know, my desire to have a certain, you know, my comfortability. You know, how I value my peace more than I value the house looking a certain way, exactly how I want it when I want it. You know, I value being, as long as I'm at peace. So like, that's what I mean. So like, you value your peace over a certain structure. You value affection and attention over respect. You know, you don't. That doesn't mean you want to be disrespected as long as you have the right amount of attention. That doesn't mean that you want your house to be dirty as long as you're peaceful sitting in it. Okay, so let's get that straight. I'm speaking about value things. We don't value everything in life we don't value everything the same. Certain things are more important, more valuable, worth more. You know, every car doesn't cost the same amount of money. Cars are different. They all are the same, though. They're all just to drive, nothing else. They're to drive. You feel me? You can drive them in certain ways. You know, you can drive bigger cars, farther cars. You can drive faster cars. You know, like whatever. But they're all cars. You feel me? So, what do you value? You feel me? More. As a woman, if you're watching this, I appreciate you for tuning in. Please let me know if this makes sense to you, or if it doesn't. If I'm bugging, I'm bugging. Y'all need respect over attention. But you know, I've been in relationships where women, not all relationships I've ever been in, but been in relationships where, you know, like, when women aren't getting that certain amount of attention, they make it known. They do something to show that they you know, like, they go above and beyond to get that attention. You know, like, it's a very valuable thing to them compared to respect. You know, and I want to know what do you think, if you're watching this? For men, what do you think women want? Do you think women value attention and affection more than they value respect? Or do they value respect more, actually, than they value attention and affection? You feel me? And I think men, we value respect more than attention and affection. You know, like, we value respect more than attention and affection. And the reason I said it is because when we get with a woman, we kind of want to feel like I don't know, like she pretty much enjoys us. Like she pretty much enjoys, let me just speak from my personal experience. When I get with a woman, I want a woman to respect my presence. Feel me? And to me, disrespect would be like, like dishonesty. To me, disrespect would be like the way you talk to me, the way you look at me, the way you talk to me, the way you look at me, what you say about me, how you act towards me, how we function, how we work together has a lot to do with how we respect each other. And I think men, me personally, as a man, I want to feel a sort of I guess that example of I value the peace more. I think that's a respect thing. It's like I'd rather not argue. You feel me? Because I don't feel like being disrespectful compared to a woman who might argue and feel like this is a conversation we're having, it's attention. Like I don't know, my parents argue, we argue too. Like I'm not sure if that's a line a man will use, but I've known quite a few women, who say stuff like that. Like, like my parents argue is cool, but men is like, nah, because when we get in there, we say certain things and we do certain things, and we, men, we value that. We value those moments of high energy, and we want those moments to be respectful. We want to enjoy each other's company in a very peaceful and calm way, for it not to be controversial. And I think women can kind of deal with the controversy more than men. So that's what I mean by I think men value respect over attention and affection, is because certain attention we don't want. Like just a certain attention we don't desire. Certain attention we don't need. Certain attention doesn't fuel us. So I think we want a specific attention and not a negative attention for us. You feel me? Not like there could be a negative attention, but it might affect us negatively. So I think that's what I mean by like we value respect more, because a certain attention we don't want, and we want a certain amount of relaxation, a certain amount of smoothness, a certain way. We want the relationship to function in a healthy way, and we understand that certain attention can disrupt the way we function. Certain attention can disrupt the flow of things, and we want things to flow peacefully. I think that's where the difference between men and women is. Like, of course we all want attention. The whole world wants attention. Like no one wants to be ignored and alone or lonely. Some people want to be alone but not lonely. But we all value attention. But I think when it comes to respect is something men need, and attention is something women need. My survey, though, proved that's not the case. My survey proved that women actually want respect. And I don't disagree. I don't disagree that women want respect. I disagree that women want respect more than they want attention. Word, I was 16 before, Like, why am I, who's not at 16, the calm, just the jerk guy who gets the Johns. Like, I wasn't that guy. I was a smooth guy. I wasn't a jerk getting the Johns. I was a smooth guy getting the Johns on the low. But looking like, how is this dude who's mad rude and disrespectful, like, how does he get hurt? Like, feel me? Just wondering how. That's just me, you feel me? I didn't feel like I couldn't get the female that he had, but it was just like, how? Like, how did he get that? I never tried to pick up a girl in a disrespectful way, like, yo, man, what's up with you? I'm feeling your body type vibe. You feel me? But I think that right there, that just picking up girls on some vibe like that, that's a mixture of attention and disrespect. To me, that's a mixture of attention and disrespect. And I think some women are literally flattered by it, and they might be offset at first. And you hear this too, like, oh, I don't know, Mike, he was a jerk when I first met him, and then I got to know him, he's cool. It's because they literally tolerated the disrespect. They literally tolerated it, for attention. They tolerated the disrespect because they value the attention and, kind of, just appreciate it and was grateful for those moments of respect, those moments of positive attention when they came, and just focused on that until the relationship started to work out in a more and more positive way. And I appreciate that. I don't think women is wrong, you feel me, for anything, for any of this kind of tolerating disrespect or valuing respect over attention, or attention and affection over respect. I just want to know, I want to know because that's one of my goals, is to be in a happy, successful relationship where we're respecting each other and showing each other the right amount of attention and affection and appreciating each other. So let me know what you think. You feel me? Let me know if I'm tripping. I don't think I'm tripping. But I do think attention is way more valuable than respect right now in this day and age, period. Regardless in a relationship or not. Literally. I just saw a video, a screenshot somebody sent me of a post with some dude who, he doesn't have like a lot of followers. Like, he has like 1,000. And he's blasting, he posted a picture that he's about to release a song, and he got a beat from some dude, and that he knows the dude. And he's like, somebody tell this dude that his beats is whack, and I made his beat better. It wouldn't have been, his beat is trash. It wouldn't have been good without me. And he's DMing me, asking me when I'm releasing a song, tell him to leave me alone. And it's like, that's disrespectful, bro. You know him. The dude who made the beat is commenting on the post, trying to keep his cool and all that. Like, he didn't be argumentative. He was just like, ha ha ha, like, LOL, it's cool. But the dude is commenting, replying to his comments back, and it's like, yeah, your beat is trash. Like, I made you. Like, and I'm just like, first of all, like, this is your friend, like, or like someone you was doing business with. You could at least converse with him, DM him personally, and tell him about the quality of his beat. You didn't tell him it was trash at all. You told your Instagram, you told your followers it was trash, just to disrespect him. Like, you knew he was gonna see that. You didn't care, and and it's just like that dude who made that trash beat today might be Scott Storch in 4 years, 5 years, and this isn't helping. You feel me? Like, this is the beginning of your relationship. So it goes to show, like, he valued attention because he knew the attention. He knew people like me would read it and be like, like, talking about it. And that's what he valued over respect. He didn't care that he was disrespecting someone he's working with. And then how does it look when other producers are looking at that? They looking like, I don't want to do business with him because he don't like it. He's going to blast me online, and that's not good for me. Social media is a great example of how attention is valued more than respect. Because we'll disrespect ourselves for attention on social media. Literally. And I think that trickles into relationships as we start to function in our lives just like we function on social media. But let me know what you feel. Do you value attention and affection over respect? Or do you value respect over attention and affection? Let me know. All the women out there, let me know. Let me know. Excuse me, young lady. In a relationship, do you value attention and affection, or do you value respect more? The same? Attention and affection is the same as respect?
Yeah, because if you respect the person, you will show that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that
Type. You in a relationship right now?
No.
Type, you were?
Yeah.
Type. And, like, did you feel like you got enough attention and affection from the person, or in your last relationship?
I don't know, but then I could be needy. You know what I'm saying?
Type. That's on you, though. Like, do you feel like you needed, you got the attention you needed, the respect you needed?
Right, but I know I'm an overwhelming person.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I get clingy sometimes, and sometimes I'm not.
Clingy, that sounds like attention.
That's why I said it all goes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I said? I can be controlling. It's all on the individual.
Like, but at least you self-aware and you know that. You feel me? So, and that's
I'm crazy.
like.
I can get
Right.
where you at?
I went through a breakup recently, and I think it's important to, like, self-reflect and be self-aware so that when I go into the next one, I'm a little more aware of what I see going on. Word. Thank you. I think this is the dating myself part. Thank you. Enjoy your day. All right, so y'all got it. She said they wanted the same, but when you heard her speak, you heard her start to tell you how all the ways that she needed attention. That was an elderly woman. I didn't want to put her on camera because I don't know her situation. But that was the male carrier, and she was like, "Oh, they both the same, respect and attention, da 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 da." And then she been like, "But I could get a little clingy and possessive, and I could be a little bitch." So you seen her start to share how she can need a lot of attention, and she didn't really talk about respect, Excuse me. She kind of insinuated, implied that her possessiveness, her clinginess can lead to a man, like she can lead to a man being uncomfortable. She kind of said like these things would mess the relationship up. You heard it, like, I can be clingy and possessive in a bitch, like, so clingy, possessive in a bitch is gonna do something wrong, or is a man going to respect that? You feel me? That's what it is. That's what I mean. You heard it. Women value attention. They value affection. You feel me? And they're more afraid of being. They're more afraid of that attention and affection going elsewhere than that respect going elsewhere. You feel me? Like, or they're more afraid of that attention and affection going elsewhere than they're more afraid of being disrespected. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, walking around, they're not thinking about being disrespected in this relationship. I don't think he's gonna, like, I don't know. From my experience, not too many women are worried about being in domestic violent relationships or being abused and stuff like that. Not saying that they shouldn't be, because there's a lot of crazy people out here, and we abuse each other in other ways, not just physical. Sometimes it's mental and emotional. Sometimes it's just I'm going through something, and because you're with me, you're just gonna be affected by it, and that is like emotional abuse. Especially when we're like putting our issues on someone else. But you heard it here. She started to go into so many ways where she felt, my attention. She said, I could be a little needy. My attention, my needs can push a man away. Why would you? Why would you think that? That's because you value it so much. You know the power of attention. You don't want the man to be pushed away, but that's what it is. Like I said, woman, y'all tuned in. Let me know what it is. Let me know what you're feeling. What do you value more, attention or affection? All right? If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. You feel me, them? BluePoetry.com. Let's go.